We're talking about you.
So it's not an arm wrestling event, but you don't have to be a complete lay down. You can be legitimately say things that you have heard in the field. And so for the purpose of this, it's assumed that you're already at the kitchen table. So whatever happened, the telephone call, the door approach is already over. Jesse just sat down with Gary Reynolds. He's from the Reynolds Wrap fortune.
Can they change places so we also can see Jesse's facial expressions?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just thought that we should. I thought we should have Jesse's good side toward you.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Okay. And so you've just sat down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Gary, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for letting me inside of your lovely home. How long have you been living here now?
4 years.
4 years. Wow, wow. Where are you from?
I'm a military brat, so I'm all over. I've never lived in a place more than 8 years.
Oh, okay, more than 8 years. Wow, wow. Well, hey, I tell you what, I really appreciate you letting me come to your home. I like your home, and it's a pleasure to be able to come and help you out today. And so, Mr. Gary, let's make sure. How you spell your last name?
Reynolds. R-E-Y-N-O-L-D.
All right, okay. And your current age is what now?
57.
57 years young. All right, all right. Well, Mr. Gary, once again, my name is Jesse. I'm from the Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage Program. We got this postcard you sent into the mail. You remember sending this in?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. And so part of what I do is I come out and I meet with people, and I have a question I want to ask you. Because you took the time to fill this out and send it back in. So my question to you, sir, is what made you send this in? Had you experienced a funeral lately or a health scare? What made you send this in?
Oh, nothing. I just seen the commercial, and you had that 9 things a senior should know, and I just officially turned a senior, so I just wanted to know what that book was all about.
Okay, okay, so you're a young senior.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, I love it, I love it. So you saw the book, 9 Things Every Senior Needs to Know About Funerals, and it captivated you to the point that you took the time to fill this information out and send it back into Lincoln. Okay, so now let me ask you, Gary. You say you're 57 now. Do you currently have a policy in place to cover your final expenses when you die?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I got $100,000 worth of life insurance. I was like I said, I was just curious. It was Saturday night. I was drinking and I seen the commercial. And I just went.
You was drinking. You have $100,000 worth of insurance. You saw the commercial. 9 things every senior need to know. And about that book, we're going to get into it. 9 things that the funeral home is not going to tell you. To the point that you want to know about what's in that book, right?
That was it.
I
just wanted the book.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about what's in the book, and let's talk about how we can help you today, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, do you know much about Lincoln Heritage?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of Lincoln. Wow. Oh, man. Well, let me help you out here today, Mr. Gary. All right, once again, my name is Jesse Sanders. I'm with Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. We're known by 2 things. These green shirts we wear and this phrase right here, the Funeral Advantage Plan. Now, one of the benefits of that is, Mr. Gary, we pay our claims within 24 hours of death. Where most traditional life insurance companies can take anywhere from 6 weeks up to 6 months to pay out, Lincoln pays out within 24 hours of death. But it means a little more than that. And I'm going to share with you what it means, okay?
What's that?
Now, here's a picture of the home office. We're located in Phoenix, Arizona. Came in business in 1963. We are in every state.
Is this about life insurance?
Sir?
Is this about life insurance? I already got $100,000.
But it's more than about life insurance, and I'm going to share with you. We came in business in 1963. We in every state in the United States. We're the largest final expense company in the nation. Now, one of the reasons we can pay our claims is because we currently got over $664 million in assets, but we got $4.2 billion of life insurance that we cover. So now that you see, we're not just big on the outside, but we're big financially. And we're also recommended by the Better Business Bureau. And we're a debt-free company, and we're also a family-owned company. Just want to let you know about Lincoln and how powerful we are. And one of the things that we specialize in paying our claims. Isn't that awesome?
Okay.
Okay, so now what I want to say to you is that this young lady here represents, anytime you make a phone call into the home office, all calls are made and directed here in the United States. So when you call in, you're not sitting across the water somewhere. Neither do we have you on the phone waiting 10 and 15 minutes before you get help. Now, as you may know, Mr. Gary, I don't know if you noticed or not, Social Security only pays $255 when you die, a whopping $255. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's only if you qualify. But the average cost of a funeral now is ranging from $3,000 to $10,000. $3,000 is a cremation, and $10,000 is a regular burial. And since this was printed, I don't know if you've been watching the news lately or not, but due to the rising cost of inflation, funerals have gone up even higher, as much as $15,000. So I want to ask you this very important question, Mr. Gary. When that time comes for you, as it will for all of us, do you want to be buried or cremated?
Yeah, probably buried. I haven't given much thought.
Probably buried? Okay. With that being said, I want to, this next page, we want to break down to you the different costs that's involved in a regular burial. Because one thing I don't want to do, Mr. Gary, I don't want to come in here and help you get something that don't fit your needs. I don't want to have your family call me and say, well, why did you sell my loved one this amount of coverage and it was not enough to take care of their final expenses? So what we want to do, for the reasons for breaking this down to you, is that we can help you have enough in place to meet your need. Okay? All right, so like the professional service charges can run you around $1,800. Transfer of remains, $250. Embalming, $628. Hairdressing and cosmetology, $200. Visitation and viewing, $395. To have the service at the funeral home can cost $450. A hearse, $275. Service car and van, $125. Acknowledgements, $125. Caskets start from $2,300 on up. Individual grave space from $150 to $1,900. Opening and closing of the grave, $125 to $750. A bronze market, if you choose one, will be $450 on up. Upright stone monument can be $1,800 on up, and then just other burial containers can go anywhere from $400 to $10,000. And again, keep in mind, since this was printed, these prices have even increased even more. Did you know that? Does that sound accurate to you?
Well, I'm retired military. Don't they take care of most of that?
Well, yeah, your military plays a part in that, but for your final expenses, were you aware of the cost of what the funerals are costing these days?
Oh, just like everybody else, about $10,000, $15,000.
Yeah, and again, keep in mind they're going up even higher. So that book you saw, 9 things that every senior needs to know, we point out in the book how these, due to the rising cost of inflation, how the price are going up and things are going up. So this is one of the reasons why you want to have enough protection in place to cover your final expenses. Now, I don't know if you noticed about Lincoln or not. About a couple years ago, there was a special news report that came out on TV that said how funeral homes are taking advantage of people at time of death. Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about it. I know the funeral home's a bunch of crooks.
Okay, all right. Not saying all of them, but that was the news report that came out. So but you're aware of that. Now here at Lincoln, when you get a policy with us, you don't just get a policy, but we're going to provide you with a free, valuable service called the Funeral Advantage Program. They are the ones that put that book out. It's ran by the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. Now, this is a group of men and women who are licensed funeral directors, but they don't work for a funeral home. They only work for you and your family. And here's some of the benefits. I'm going to point out one of the main things that they do. They're going to help your family on the worst day of their lives. One of the things that they do, when you take out a policy with us, we're going to send this form in your policy that says Final Wishes A and Final Wishes B. Now, the beauty of this, Mr. Gary, you're able to put on paper up front all of your final wishes. You fill out the part that pertains to you. You put down close, next of kin, what kind of funeral service you want, what kind of casket you want, where you want to have it at. If you're in the military or a lodge, you fill that out as well. If you want a prayer service, you can even put down here what you want the prayer service, the location. You can put down here what kind of visitation you want, okay? You can even list up to 3 funeral homes, and at the time of your passing, when your family contact us, we're going to shop the 3 places and find the one with the right price and the right value.
Well, my family, for years we've been going to Joe Morris, so that's going to take care of my body.
Well, that's good.
Really won't worry about it.
Yes, sir. You can still use Joe Morris, but this is a free, valuable service that comes along with your policy today. So you can just take advantage of it, because these guys and girls, they know the ins and outs of the funeral home business. They know about the pricing and all the whole 9 yards of it. So just to have certified personnel working on the behalf of your family, seeing to it that your final wishes are carried out like you wanted, and help keep the cost down. Because I don't know if you know this, Mr. Gary, the funeral home, they want to know, do you have insurance? How many policies you have and how much that comes to. And then their job is to get all that money and then some. Well, here at Lincoln Heritage, the Funeral Advantage Funeral Advantage program is going to look out for your family and make sure that on the worst day of your family lives, that they're not taken advantage of. Isn't that an awesome service?
Yeah.
Come on, Gary, work with me.
Yeah.
Isn't that an awesome service?
Yeah, right.
Basically, we're going to take the advantage from the funeral home and give it to you and your family. Now, you flip this over, you put us as your insurance company. If you're in the military, like you said, you fill out this information. Special instructions, you can list up the 4 songs you want sung, who you want to sing the song. You even put down your flower choices. You can put down here what you want to happen in your personal effects, if you want to be buried with your glasses on, or rings or things of that nature. Even if you have a clothing preference, you can put that there. If you want it in the newspaper, you can put that there. And if you have any pets, you can even fill out what you want. You can even put down here what you want to happen to your pets. You fill this out, you send it back in, we're going to have it on file. We're going to send you 5 cards in your policy that looks like this. One for your wallet and one for your family members that will be in charge of handling your funeral. So when that time comes, they'll pull this card out, dial this 1-800 number, it'll have your name on it and your membership number. And the first thing we'll do is pull up information that we have on file, and we will assist your family with the whole entire process, and we'll make sure that your family get the benefits that they so rightfully deserve. Isn't that awesome?
No, my daughter lives in South Carolina. How are you going to get that information to her?
Well, we're going to have her information. You're going to provide to us her information. We'll reach out to her.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Now, I don't know if you know this or not. There are 2 types of main insurance policies on the market today. One called term life and whole life. Are you familiar with the 2? Now you told me you told me you have a $100,000 policy.
Mm-hmm.
The question I want to ask you, is it term life or is it whole life?
It's a whole lot.
It is a whole life.
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. Okay, because that's all we provide here at Lincoln is whole life policies. Mm-hmm. And here's the benefits of whole life. Permanent coverage with whole life protection. Your benefits can never decrease. Your premiums will never increase. Your policy cannot be canceled because of your age or any health changes. And you're fully protected from the very first day that we receive the payment. Your policy kicks in force. And here at Lincoln, we don't require no medical examination. Just a few health questions. Last but not least, whole life builds cash value. Mm-hmm. You can borrow from her, you can cash it in.
Yeah,
so that's
I borrowed against mine a couple of times.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Okay.
So you know the value of whole life.
Okay.
And last but not least, Mr. Gary, this shows how funerals have gone up as much as 15,000. They say in the next 20, 30 years it's going up even higher. So, Mr. Gary, I want to ask you a question. I'm back to this right here. You sent this in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you said you have a $100,000 policy.
Right.
But evidently, there is something else that you had in mind pertaining to your final expenses. And what was that?
Not really. I just want the book.
Okay. The book just explains what I talked about, but after explaining this to you, what is the need that you have?
I just wanted to know if it was talking about going up. I just want to know if my $100,000 was enough to go ahead and bury me.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure. Yes, sir, with $100,000.
In the Great Pyramid of Egypt.
Yes. Yes. It's enough to bury you. So maybe you were thinking about leaving this behind to your loved ones. If you have $100,000 a whole life policy, yes, that's enough to bury you. But there is a need because you sent this in, and Mr. Gary.
I was kind of thinking about my grandchildren. My daughter has 4 children.
There we go. Now, okay, Mr. Gary. I like you, Mr. Gary. So, thinking about the grandkids.
It took you a while to get there. Okay.
Yes, sir. I wasn't going to let it go. I knew there was a reason. So this is going to be for the grandkids.
Yeah.
Okay, would that
I
be?
just wanted to make sure when I go, they had enough to
There you go, Mr. Gary.
do a little something.
With that being said, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
If I can find something to fit your budget, we already know the need is for the grandkids. You want to pass on to the grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find something to fit your budget, can we go ahead and get you started today?
Let's see what you got.
Okay, all right. All right, so your age, Mr. Gary, again, you said was
57.
57. You're a young man. Young man, 57 male. Okay, now, Mr. Gary, I'm going to ask you some questions, very important questions.
Okay.
In the past 12 months, have you used any form of tobacco?
No.
Okay. All right. Have you been positively diagnosed by a physician as having a terminal illness, saying you're going to die at a certain time?
Oh, no.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge and belief, have you ever tested positive for HIV?
Nope.
All right. And obviously, you're not bedridden, you're not hospitalized, you're not incarcerated, nor are you in a care facility, because I'm looking right at you.
Okay.
You look good, Mr. Gary.
Okay.
All right. Now, what I love about Lincoln, we're only going to ask you 9 health questions.
All right.
Nothing on the back, one little application, simple process. In the past 2 years, have you been treated by a physician or taken medications for any of the following conditions? Number 1, disease of the heart, including heart attack, heart surgery, or congestive heart failure?
No.
All right. Number 2, disease of the circulatory system. That includes stroke, aneurysm, or been advised to have surgery to improve circulation.
No.
Cancer?
Nope.
Okay. Disease of the lungs, including COPD or emphysema other than asthma?
Nope.
All right. Disease of the liver or kidney, or had an organ transplant?
Nope.
All right, Mr. Gary, you're a healthy young man. Wow.
Okay.
All right, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, organic brain syndrome, or ALS, which is a Lou Gehrig disease.
I'm good.
All right. Alcohol, drug abuse, you're not addicted, are you?
I know.
So that means no, huh? All right, and complications of diabetes, that means amputation, diabetic coma, blindness, or kidney disorder.
I am diabetic.
Well, but the question is, have you had to the point where you've had an amputation, coma, blindness, or kidney disorder?
Oh, no.
All right, that's a no. And he said no to HIV. All right. Now, Mr. Gary, one other important question I want to ask you. Are you taking any doctor-prescribed meds at this time?
Yes.
Okay, go get your meds for me.
All right.
All right, so we got the meds. All right, now, and then at that point, I'm going to look to see what kind of, I'm going to have my medication list.
Okay.
I'm going to look to see what kind of meds you're taking. And so let's say that none of them look to be on my modified list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Gary. It looks like you qualify. You may qualify for one of our best plans. That's our regular final expense plan, which means it will cover you for the rest of your life. It will pay out within 24 hours of your death and no 2-year waiting period. And the best news, Mr. Gary, you pre-qualify for up to $35,000, which we normally don't advertise. So what I want to do at this point, again, here at Lincoln, we're big about getting something to stay in line with your budget. Okay, so I want to help you get a policy now to fit your budget. So have you thought about what that is monthly for you?
No, I really haven't given it a thought. 50, 60 bucks, I guess.
Okay, okay. So that would be feasible. Wouldn't be outrageous for you?
Nah.
Okay, 50 to 60.
I drink more than that in a week.
Oh wow, Mr. Gary. Maybe I can increase your policy if we cut down some of that drink. All right. So he's told me about $50 to $60. Okay. And at that point, guys and girls, I'm gonna see how much coverage I can get him for that amount. All right. The end.
Could you go over to modify now? How you would handle modify?
Okay. All right. So Mr. Gary.
Let's not do. Let's not go there.
Okay, yeah.
Don't do that?
Okay.
He wasn't modified.
What if you was?
Well,
It's not a big deal.
that would be a
We don't say
story for
anything
somebody
until
that
we
is,
have to check it
and that's
out.
kind of not